Attention terrorists, hold on. Here's Tara's Daily Rant.
I am shocked. I mean, just shocked by the handling of the evidence in this Murdaugh murder mystery. I mean, normally murder, crime, murder mystery, right? It's practically become American entertainment. Look, most of the time, you get a big high-profile case like this where, the Attorney General himself, Alan Wilson, was in court yesterday. It's his office prosecuting this. The state, goes extra distance to make sure that the evidence is handled correctly. The screw-ups here are shocking. And it makes me kind of wonder, how are other murder cases handled in the state? Because Dick Harpootlian, and I hate to say the defense lawyer here is not wrong for Murdaugh. Doesn't mean Murdaugh's a good guy or he didn't kill his family. It just means wow. Defense attorney Dick Harpootlian pointed out what he called flaws while cross-examining SLED, Special Agent Melinda Worley. There was a bloody footprint near his that turns out to be law enforcement in the feed room. Yes, Worley had to admit. So you got law enforcement literally just tracking their way through the blood and tracking it all over the scene. Is that preservation of the scene to your standards? Harpootlian asks. Not exactly, she says. Should police have walked through the scene? No, she says. Do you know what other evidence they might have destroyed? No, that's right. You don't, said Harpootlian. He's not wrong here. I mean, it's just shocking stuff. And then Harpootlian also questioned why blood was never tested on an ATV near Maggie's body. Tonight you saw the blood, he asks this woman from SLED, which is our state law enforcement. You didn't take a swab of it or whatever you thought was blood. You didn't swab it? No, I didn't, she replied. Okay, why is that important? How'd we get to Idaho, killer? There's blood at the scene. That's how. Whose blood was it? We don't know. You saw it, but you didn't test it. No. Well, the officers were busy tracking the blood all over the scene. Matter of fact, Harpootlian said, there's a pool of water around Paul, his son. Did anyone ask you to take a sample of that? No. You didn't. No. You didn't sample the pool of water around the body. Holy cow. But the most shocking part is, folks, I having covered this, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. The key piece of evidence in this trial is the shirt Murdaugh was wearing. And the prosecution destroyed it. You cannot do that. To give you some idea how serious this is, you have to let the defense test it. And when in the initial report by the blood spatter expert says, nah, this doesn't show blood spatter from a shooting. He wrote on February 4th in the first draft of the report. In the final, he's like, yeah, it does. Never mind. It's clear the defense, it's clear the prosecution, the state, got him to change his mind. Well, that shirt needs to be tested by the defense. It's not like, well, we don't like the defense, so maybe we won't give them the evidence. In North Carolina, where I'm from, if the prosecution withholds the evidence or destroys it, do you know what happens to prosecution? You go to prison. There have been cases in North Carolina, and that's why the law was passed, where the prosecution withheld evidence from the defense. That's what caused that law. You go to prison. You can't just go, hey, we'll test it and we'll figure out what we want. We're just going to throw it out so you can't defend your client. This judge is in a terrible position. If he throws out the key piece of evidence, which the state absolutely bungled here, there's going to be an absolute uproar. Most human beings cannot psychologically tolerate that level of criticism he would take. If he does not throw it out, don't be surprised if a murder conviction here is overturned on appeal. That is how outrageous this is.
Terrorists want it. Hear the Tara Show weekday mornings on 106.3 WORD and the Odyssey app.